Hello and welcome to Bowtie Life, where we talk mostly about life in the garden. I'm Bowtie David. We live here in Destin, Florida, Zone 9B. Today we are looking at the raised garden beds in the backyard, and just coming up, we will be doing tons of spring seed starts for the coming growing season. I am tired because I have recorded the two other parts today and trying to get the next one recorded because I don't think I'll get another chance to this weekend. But be sure to subscribe to Bowtie Life on YouTube so you don't miss a thing. And if you have subscribed, thank you so much. You are my heroes. I so appreciate all the subscriptions as we work to grow our channel to the next level. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. I don't know if you can hear in the distance, the ice cream truck is a few blocks away. We do have a local ice cream truck that runs around here. In this video, we are taking a very close look at everything in the raised garden beds in the backyard. There's not a lot going on. There's a few highlights that I'm going to cover. We got some blackberries, going to talk about adding compost to the beds and more mulch. We are going to search for life in the pepper bed. I haven't even looked myself because I've been saving it for now, but we do have other things, Brassicas and Kale and stuff growing, which is kind of exciting because some of it's the first time I've ever grown it. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. I have, as I was saying, I have already recorded parts 1 and 2 of the garden tours. They are, of course, not edited yet, but when we started part 1, if you looked in the background, you will have noticed there was blue sky. Beautiful blue sky, and then part 2, the sky was the sun was kind of obscured, and right now we are under heavy overcast and just a few hours away from rain. We're supposed to get our first rain about 6:15, and it's 4 o'clock, so that means this might be a fast garden tour. That tends to make me go a little faster, and so we'll see if we can get through this before the rain starts. That's the goal, at least. So we'll have this map of the garden beds, the raised garden beds in the backyard, and we'll be seeing where the position is camera and looking, so you can kind of get an idea of what we're looking at. So yeah, it's always difficult for me to shoot more than 1 or 2 videos in a day because my ADD brain just doesn't gets exhausted pretty fast. I am excited by the garden and getting out here and seeing what we're doing and what's happened so far and what's still growing. So I'm a little excited to look at the pepper bed because that's going to be a great encouragement to me. But anyway, how about we get on with the GreenStalk over here. I'm very excited to see what's growing in it. It's not so impressive as I was hoping. So my first GreenStalk and only GreenStalk right now is actually doing pretty decent. There's still some parsley growing down there from last year. This is Dino Kale that we planted more recently, and it's sort of growing. It's not growing very big, and I think that's probably because the confined space of the growing container. This is the 7-tiered growing GreenStalk. There is a 5-tier with deeper pockets, and I think that I might actually if I get a second one, I would probably get that one, the 5-tier, because they're deeper, and maybe try growing things like this kale in that type of a thing. We do have strawberries down here growing, which is, well, not strawberry plants growing. There's a lot of dead leaves on here, but there's new growth all over the place. This right here is brand new growth, just looks beautiful. And I try to keep these things trimmed up. This is an old basil plant here that's long gone. And I believe, is that a dill right there? It is. It's a dill plant that I planted. So you can see this leaf here. Some of these leaves are looking a little rough for the wear. I do know I failed to water this, and so it got stressed a little bit, and it missed a couple of cycles, at least one cycle. I'm not sure about missing two, but more basil. But and see, look at these new strawberry plants just taking off. I mean, there's another one down here. It really does good for the strawberry plant. Someone commented recently that they might try strawberries in one of their GreenStalks, and I think it's a great idea. These strawberries just seem to really thrive. Look at that right there, and of course there is another. Oh! What is that? I actually have my first cauliflower. I am so excited. Cauliflower, people. I've been trying to grow cauliflower for a while. They are kind of small heads, and I'm not sure. It also may be because I did not supplement the feed in these, but I do have several of these cauliflower heads. They're kind of small. Gonna harvest them eventually. A little bit of broccoli. Now this broccoli, I mean, it's just a floret up there all by itself. That's not healthy, I don't think. There is another one over here that's developing. Another broccoli. We might get a snack off of this, but yeah, I'm kind of excited that I finally grew. I did do some feed in here, if I remember correctly. We did it together on a video, but I don't remember for sure. There's some more parsley back there, still growing strong, so it is still getting watered, and it's doing good. Becoming a green stalker. If you have any thoughts on this, I'd love to hear. You have a lot more experience with these than I do. So as we move over to bed number 1, we actually did fire up our fire pit for the very first time ever a few nights ago for a big gathering that we had over here. And I did spread the ash on some of the beds here just to add some diversity to what's in there. And I believe very strongly on creating this living soil and adding diversity to it as much as I can. I've had success with that so far. You can see right along the edge, the dollar weed is growing up. That's going to be easy to clear out. This has killed off a whole lot of dollar weed though, and the cardboard is starting to attract worms. We will be looking at that in another video here pretty soon. But as we come down here, now this section here, I hadn't added any compost, and I need to. I also need to add cardboard first, of course. And that's we're going to be using that as the okra bed for the 3rd year in a row this next year. And of course the blackberries that are going crazy. We talked about the one blackberry arbor in the previous section, but in this you can see there's a great big vine coming up over there, and it is going up across here, 12 foot across here, all the way down to there. It's huge. So this blackberry, I hope this will actually produce me some good amount of blackberries. There's a whole mess of blackberry vines all through there. Very exciting. But anyway, so again, in the end of bed 1, and of course this is growing all through this tree, and it's starting to root down there, which means it's creating new vines. The other bed, the Brassica bed down here, I do finally know what we have here. I've been questioning what we have. First thing here is, now here we go, a real cauliflower. And this bed's a little richer, and you'll notice this one's a little bigger. For my first time growing cauliflower, I'm super stoked about that. This will get bigger. I will harvest it, of course, before it starts blooming or opening up or whatever. Here's another broccoli, which is actually looking good, and another broccoli. So we've got a cauliflower, 2 broccoli, and I am convinced now that this is a Brussels sprout. I wasn't sure because the day I planted these 4 plants, I just kind of threw them out here. I was frustrated one day and wanted to get something done. So there they are. I still need to put the additional compost in here to get those, get the ground leveled up a little more in here. But yeah, that's bed number 1. And the bee box, the solitary bee, we already talked about the honeybee box, but the solitary bees up here. I haven't seen any new activity here. That one there, I'm going to have to look back at last month, see if that was, I can't tell if there's a crack there or not, but I don't know. Everything looks about the same in here. So not too much going on. We are going to find out what this tree is this year. I'll run the identifier on it, see if we can figure out what's growing here. I'm a little tired of this tree being kind of in the way. We'll see. Bed number 2. Very little here. We do have the kale that we have picked a lot off of this. In fact, we've had a couple of church gatherings with some of the stuff that I've picked off of these little plants. They've been producing pretty good, and they're getting ready to start fleshing out into a whole new set of leaves. A little bit of chives over here. These chives were originally planted in bed number 1. In fact, it was planted in one of these holes in the bricks in bed number 1 over by the okra bed 2 years ago, and I moved these over here, and there they grow again. Very excited about that. All the beans here, of course, are going to get adjusted. I have to lower yet another trellis. I think this is the last one I have to lower, but I'm going to be lowering this down about half of what it is there, and we'll be putting this cattle panel up here, hang it underneath there so we can put a shade cloth on top of this year. That I think that may have helped our production if I had done that. Of course, the tomatoes that were here, we had Everglades tomatoes. Those were a couple of Super Sweet 100, which we did get. I finally discovered, I tracked down vines on the other side in bed 3. There's 2 Super Sweet 100 there, and I've tracked several vines down to those 2 plants as well. So there were a lot of Super Sweet 100s. I was very excited to see that. The Everglades, of course, were prolific, and that is bed number 2. I'm not sure what we're going to be planting here this year, though I suspect I will be volunteered out some Everglades tomatoes in here, and I may just let it go. The aloe, you can see some of it's been hit with the cold that we had a couple weeks ago, but there's a lot of new growth going on in here and a lot of strong growth. So we know we're not losing these. I wasn't concerned that we were, but I don't know about blooming this year. We'll have to see. Yeah. So past our little aloe patch, we come into the pepper bed, and this is the area which I'm really looking for life. I want to see what's growing and what we have that's going to be coming back this next year. And so I know we have like a Tabasco plant right here, and when you're looking at these plants, you come down here and you can actually scratch with your nail and look in here, and there is some nasty wood in there, and I don't know if this is going to come back or not. We might end up losing it down to the bottom, but what's going to happen is, what I'm hoping is going to happen is that this thing will sprout up something from the bottom. And if I come around here, look at this one green branch right here. I'm wondering if maybe it'll come from that. We'll have to see. That's actually what happened last year, and it looks like a little bit of green up in here, but we'll see if that Tabasco survives. Same thing, this is a Fatale right here and a couple of Scotch bonnet. It looks like everything above ground, but if you look right up in here, there's some nice green on the stem here. So it's going back to what I was talking about on the first part of this month's garden tour. I'm going to let these things grow until I know what for sure I need to cut off. Now, I don't know what this is. There is a tag here. I don't think I can read. Oh, it's a Scotch bonnet. Okay, so looky here. Look at new growth all up here where the green is. Oh my goodness, that is so exciting. Look at there, new growth right there. Tons of new growth down. Look at that, brand new leaves. If we don't get another freeze, that is my Scotch bonnet recovering. And now that I look back over here at this first plant, There's actually something growing right there. Okay, that's pretty cool. I don't know what that one was. I think that was a jalapeno. That doesn't look very promising, but right behind it, that very big one has a lot of green on it. I actually see leaves growing. We do still have the plastic here because I don't know if it's time to remove it, because we may. Oh my goodness. Look at the growth. That is so cool. We're gonna get another year out of some of these plants. So yeah, very exciting. Oh, and looky here, I don't know what this one is. This one may be a fatale, but look at all the growth down here. So these things are gonna come back for their third year. There's a shishito down here, mammoth jalapeno here, habanero. Wonder if that habanero is coming. That's one I'm really hoping is gonna come back. I wanna plant another one of those, but it doesn't look very, let's see here. I can't get in there. Key thing's gonna be getting these leaves away. Some sun and warmth get in here. I do see green right there though on the stem. And this is a fatale here. I don't see anything on it yet, but I have a lot of hope. That's very exciting, very exciting. So we're gonna have peppers. I am gonna be seeding out some new pepper plants this year, so we will have some new plants this year as well. Moving into the elephant garlic. The elephant garlic patch is looking really healthy. I'm very excited. These Brussels sprouts, this one actually looks pretty good. These other Brussels sprouts don't look very good. In fact, they're starting to die. That one over there has died. This one here has died. They just got their leaves eaten off. I think they were by slugs. This one looks like it's growing back strong though. I don't know if the garlic helps with slug problems. I did make a mistake here. I knew I had put a zucchini in here that got eaten by pests, and I now know that you don't follow zucchini with broccoli. I'm sorry, not Brussels sprouts. You don't follow zucchini with Brussels sprouts for crop rotational purposes, for insect and pest control. The tomatoes at the end of bed 3, of course, these are toast. These will be all cleared out, and we will have to find a new existence for this bed. And this will be one of the upcoming cleaning projects that we'll be doing. So down here at the end of bed 3, there still is a goji berry bush down here buried under all these tomato vines that I need to get cleared out so that goji berry can take off. Now the green leaves that you're seeing up the back here, these are one of those trees that always grow around here, and I need to get down and pull that thing out by the roots, because this is not a goji berry. This is a nuisance, and I've got to get that out of there. This right here is a goji right there. That's the goji berry plant. It's pretty prolific in here. It keeps coming back. There's actually 2 of them. There's another one that's taken off over on that side, which I'm very happy about. It's kind of right now it's a little more than a novelty for me, but it's a healthy addition to my tomato products. So since we were just looking at the pepper bed, I wanted to show you real quick the overwintered peppers. And this is 9 plants that I took out of bed number 2. There's some peppadew here, there's dragon cayenne, and Thai hot peppers. And these have been sitting in here with sand on top to help keep pest pressure down. I haven't seen any insects in here. We are getting some of this dollar weed trying to grow up, and I come out about once a week and pick those. I have watered it twice in the past month or so. It did feel a little bit dry. I scooched back some of the sand. There's only about an inch of sand on here, maybe less, to keep the pests inside the soil, because the soil in there came from out in the garden. I don't want that in the house, certainly, and nor do we want it here in the Florida room. It's a little more lenient here in the Florida room, but look at all the growth. Now I don't know, only one I know is this is a peppadew. It's not growing anything yet. That's the only one I kept the label for. The rest of these, I have no clue, but look at all the growth coming out of this thing. And over here, this thing here, just looking prolific. Very encouraged that we're gonna have whatever these are. I'm wondering if maybe like this one here. So we're definitely having some peppadew. This is just barely coming out right here, but see, that's good promise that, in my mind, that's good promise that something is gonna come of that. So right now, this is the only one I'm not seeing any growth on. It is a peppadew, but I do see a lot of green in the stem without scratching it, so I'm still hopeful for this. Not gonna give up on that at all. We might have 9 successful plants here. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be amazing. So there we go. A few things growing in the raised garden beds. I'm very encouraged by the cauliflower and broccoli. They're not big, I know, but it's the first time I have successfully gotten them to grow. So I think I'm heading in the right direction, planting those in the fall rather than the spring, which was kind of silly, I know now. Things we learn. So the weather has held out for us. It looks like we have a little gap of wispy clouds, but I do know we are about an hour away from our first rain for this storm. It's supposed to just be tonight and tomorrow morning, and then it's supposed to clear up tomorrow afternoon because we are going to some goat snuggles at a friend's house. We're very excited about that. It's supposed to be cleared up by tomorrow at 2, and Mrs. Bowtie especially wants to go snuggle some goats. Hopefully we can have a little bit of video from that. Anyway, maybe I can install it right here. Anyway, so thank you for following along today. For those of you who have subscribed, I say it all the time now, I am so thankful that you have subscribed to Bowtie Life on YouTube and you've made it what it is today. I wouldn't be this far without you. And I'm excited to get our channel to the next level where we can start doing even more stuff. I've mentioned a couple of times now that when we get monetized, one of the first purchases we're going to be doing when we get the money is to buy a microphone and hopefully not deal with this wind as much. For those of you just finding our channel, this is my personal log of what's going on in the garden and what happens, and I get to see step by step every month what's progressed, what is developed, what is happening. I can look back at these in the future, and I frequently do look back at them. And occasionally I'll be in a store trying to figure out what seed I need to get, and I'll be able to look back on video right there in the store and say, okay, and flip back through whatever month I know there's when I planted the seed last year, and what do I need. Sometimes I'll just have it playing in the background as I'm getting ready in the morning, and it'll remind me of something. Oh, something I got to do, and I'll go out and it's always a little 5-10 minute job. It's never much, and so I go out, do the job, go back about my business. I enjoy having these videos with my ADD brain. I've tried journaling, I've tried photography, I've tried a few different methods, and these videos have always spoke to me and kept my brain interested, and making them to have you visit, it's just fun. I enjoy sharing it. Many times I give people tours to the garden, and if you didn't see in the first part, the intro of the first part, got a shout out from someone. That was fun. Anyway, so please be sure to subscribe to Bowtie Life on YouTube so you don't miss a thing. As we document what's happening here in the garden and all the important stuff. So something you can do to help grow the channel, it's a lot of help if you would click the thumbs up on this video. It helps show the algorithms that this content might be worth something to someone else, maybe. Also, even more help, much more help, is if you would share this video on your social media with friends who might be looking for inspiration to get going. And, you know, here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are gearing up for growing season this year. And I always look for those inspiration type things to get me going, because my ADD brain, sometimes motivation is a very difficult thing for me to do. So I do appreciate you coming along. You keep me going, and I love the comments, and I love all the interaction with y'all. Keep it up. And if you're doing anything in your garden right now, let me know what's happening in your garden. That's exciting, especially because that just encourages everybody. So, all that being said, y'all have a blessed day.